the latest Cowboys rumors presented by BetDSI. First up, could the Cowboys trade for another safety? And they've already added 2 guys in Jerron Johnson. They also went ahead and brought in Dominique Sanders, but I'll give this one 3 stars. And they're going to add somebody, I would hope and think, before the start of the actual regular season. The Cowboys are precariously thin right now after Xavier Woods' injury, and Stephen Jones has said, of course, what else was he going to say, but he said he's open to adding another safety or 2 to help improve the Cowboys roster and depth, and we've seen it many a time before. Last year, they traded for a quarterback and a DT before the start of the regular season. I would not be surprised, in fact, I expect it to happen. So you see the Cowboys go trade for somebody near the bottom of another team's depth chart who can at least be a better number 3 for week 1 than Cam Kelly or Tyree Robinson. So, folks, there's the safety depth chart. Do the Cowboys need to add another one? Type 1 for yes, 2 for no. I am not remotely satisfied with Jerron Johnson or Dominique Sanders. Yeah, they can help you out for the preseason, but you don't want those guys out there in week 1 of the regular season. I'm typing in yes. I don't know which player it'll be, but you got to add somebody for week 1 because you cannot get by with Jeff Heath, Kevon Frazier, and a bunch of undrafted guys or, camp bodies out there on the roster. Folks, today's clothing is presented by Mizzen and Manning. Go to comfortable.af to get your own awesome shirt. It is the most comfortable shirt you will ever own. Check them out at comfortable.af because they are comfortable as F. We'll stick on defense now for the rumors. Is Randy Gregory going to start for the Cowboys? I'll bump this one up to 3 stars. I won't get caught up in the minutia of what starting really means. In terms of his snap count, I kind of think Gregory's going to get pretty close to starting snaps for the Cowboys. Now, Gregory is getting a lot of first-team work at right defensive end with Tyrone Crawford kicking in inside back to DT, as I know many of you wanted on the as I've seen in the comment section on the show before. What I think you'll likely see happen is you're not going to see the first down starting unit be Crawford at DT and Gregory nickel because that's going to open you up to way too many problems against the run. But I think on passing downs, as you saw against the Bengals, Tyrone Crawford slides into DT where it's not as important to be able to hold up against the run. And then Randy Gregory lines up at defensive end. And all of a sudden, with DeMarcus Lawrence, Crawford, Gregory, and then we'll throw out Malik Collins / David Irving once the regular season actually starts, that's a really good pass rushing foursome up front. So, folks, let me know, should Randy Gregory start for the Cowboys? I want him on the field in passing downs, but on first down, let's put in a big guy like an Antoine Woods in there or Malik Collins to keep those DTs in there and have Crawford set the edge at right defensive end. Don't put Gregory on the field yet in the running situations. All right, next up, could the Cowboys trade for Odell Beckham? If you follow me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney, you already know the answer to this one. It is undoubtedly fake news, and this is probably one of the biggest fake news I've seen in quite some time. So, something called Metro US published an article that was on the front page of Google this morning that claimed an Odell Beckham trade was imminent and the Cowboys were in the mix. Folks, this is the fakest news in the history of fake news, maybe ever. There is a 0% chance this happens. For starters, the Giants are on the verge of getting a deal done with Odell Beckham. They've already had contract talks. 2, they're sure as hell not going to trade Odell Beckham to their rivals, the Dallas Cowboys. This is absolutely fake news. Shame on you, whatever you are, Metro US, for your unbelievably inaccurate report. All right, number 4 on our rumors roundup. Could the Cowboys keep Mike White? This used to be 3 stars, but I'm going to knock it down to 2 because I'm not so sure that is actually what the Dallas Cowboys will do at quarterback. Their initial plan was that they wanted to keep Dak Prescott, Cooper Rush, and Mike White. But Mike White hasn't played all that well. Maybe he could actually sneak onto the practice squad and the Cowboys can stash him there, even though that would be a risk. Now, the Cowboys, in reality, because of the injuries to Xavier Woods, to Zach Martin, and to Travis Frederick, they're going to need to carry extra bodies at offensive line and at safety. They're going to need to carry an extra safety because they're not going to put Xavier Woods on IR, and I don't know what they'll do with Frederick yet either. That costs you, in reality, 2 extra roster spots. Mike White might be one of those guys who gets cut. Now, I think you're going to go one less at receiver as well, so take a pick between Lance Lenoir and Danny Thompson at this point. But those injuries, I think, might force the Cowboys to go with only 2 quarterbacks, thus Mike White, who's been average at best behind a bad offensive line in the preseason, might be the odd man out. All right, how many touchdowns will Dak Prescott throw for this year? Will it be less than 23? Well, that's what the over-under says from our friends over at BetDSI. I'll give this one 3 stars. That sounds about right to me, even though it's not a big number. But remember, Dak Prescott threw for 22 last year and threw for 23 in his rookie season. Well, that kind of sounds about right to me for what the over-under should be. So expect Dak Prescott to finish with roughly 23 touchdown passes this year. It's exactly in line with what he's done in the past. And by the way, when the Cowboys get in the red zone this season, guess who's going to get the football? It's going to be Zeke Elliott on the ground, not so much through the passing game with one Dak Prescott. So, folks, let me know over-under passing touchdowns this year for Dak Prescott. If you think it's going to be over 22.5, type in O. If it's under, type in U for 22.5 there. As for myself, I do think it'll be around the 22, 23 mark. I probably won't place a bet on this one for me. I just don't feel overly confident in it. But they are right in line with what Dak has done in the past. You look at his numbers, 2017, 2016. Yeah, the yards and completion percentage went down, the interceptions went up, but the touchdowns remained pretty steady. I think you'll roughly see Dak Prescott finish with about 23 touchdowns this year. Folks, I am giving away a Zeke Elliott jersey with the help of my friends over at BetDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. They support this show so much so that they are giving you an exclusive offer. Head to chatsports.com/bet and use promo code Cowboys120 for a 120% deposit bonus. What that means is you put down $100, you'll end up with $220 to bet with on BetDSI. We'll tell you more about this jersey giveaway here in just a second, but you got to head to chatsports.com/bet and use promo code Cowboys120 to enter. Another over-under from our friends over at BetDSI. Is Zeke Elliott not going to reach 1,400 yards? The BetDSI over-under is 1,375.5. I give this just 1 star. This is a great bet. I've already put my money down at chatsports.com/bet. You should do the same. You can use promo code Cowboys120 to get an extra 120% deposit bonus. This is a no-brainer bet for me as long as Zeke plays all 16 games. Look at what he did in 2016. 1,631. Last year, in only 10 games, he ran for 983. If Zeke plays all 16 games, he's going to put up about 100 yards per game. That makes it an easy over for me. I'm typing in 3 in the comment section. Zeke's going to approach closer to 1,600 if he's healthy, of course, than 1,375. I'm typing the over here. Again, if you agree with me, prove it. Go to chatsports.com/bet and promo code Cowboys120 for a 120% deposit bonus. They're going to give you free money. Go use it to get more by picking Zeke to have over 1,400 yards this year. One last rumor for you guys, and it's not really a good one. Lael Collins is currently banged up at practice today, had his left ankle heavily taped, and was limping around at practice. Now, Collins had Chaz Green go in his place, which I know you guys love to see happen, and I agree with you that it's a disaster there. The Cowboys' offensive line has been hit very, very hard by injuries, and you can take a look now at what this depth chart looks like at today's practice because Tyron Smith also didn't go as he got his veteran rest day. So this was your starting unit today. Cam Fleming, Connor Williams, Joe Looney, Kadeem Edwards, Chaz Green. Oh my God, this is a disaster. This is why depth matters. Now, Smith will be fine. Don't panic about him not being on there. Sewell needs to keep developing. We'll talk more about him in a little bit. Looney is now your starting center, but with Zach Martin banged up, Kadeem Edwards is your right guard. And yes, Chaz Green is a disaster, but I don't think you want Corin Curvin or Jake Campos out there either. Chaz Green isn't very good, but Campos and Curvin, especially Curvin, are even worse. So hopefully Lael Collins is okay because the Cowboys cannot afford to lose yet another starter on that right side, at least potentially for week 1. We'll keep you updated on Lael Collins as we know more.